Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Some Ordinary Podcast. I got your co-host, Nux Taku. Oompaville is currently at the candy. He might just slip in silently and deadly. And we've got Keem here for the fifth appearance, ladies and gentlemen.
Sixth. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, did you do a check on it?
I did a check. He was right. Every time you do a podcast with me, it just etches into your traumatic memories.
And I think that goes with this episode that we're about to do. We're about to all find out that Keemstar is always right. Always f***ing right. All right?
We have to...
Always right.
All right, Keem, I'm just asking because, you know, we really care about different people and when they're comfortable with certain things. When you say you're always right, am I allowed to bring up something that I think you were wrong with, or should we just, like, roll with it?
As far as you're not a people, all right? You're not classified as a person. You're a VTuber. You have no
NFTs?
rights. No one gives a f*** about you.
Okay, so I'll ask Muda to ask you this.
Well, we got a lot to cover here with, like, we should, like, rip the Band-Aid off, okay? We should rip the Band-Aid off right now. There's been a troubling development in Europe right now. I really feel like that whole talking about World War II back in the day. So for anybody that doesn't know, YouTube commentary circles, they're like two different branches, okay? There's the American one, which is cutthroat and evil, and then there's like the United Kingdom, which is like really filled with like these goody two shoes type of guys.
But it's as evil, if not more. It's the facade of wholesomeness.
Way worse. So on the UK side, you have your group called, I think it's the E-Boys or whatever.
Yeah, the E-Boys.
Yeah. So you have the E-Boys, who consist of Alex M. Elmsley, who is the target of discussion today. ImAllexx. You've got like Memulus. You've got like I think Wilnay is in there. You've got a bunch of other guys. Anyways, ImAllexx has come out with these alleged domestic violence allegations, and I say alleged for legal reasons, but there is an entire Discord clip floating around of some of the most abhorrent shit that this guy has been basically
Mr.
saying.
President, a third girlfriend has hit the tower.
Yeah.
Wait, there's three girlfriends now?
Third girlfriend came out.
I thought one of them was for that weird guy INAPper or something. Hold on.
Yeah, if you followed me on Baited, like by the way, Baited is returning. All right, it's actually going to be live before this comes out.
Wait, is it coming back for good or just one?
We did one episode. Me, Tommy, and Clown. It's up there. It's all on ImAllexx, but ImAllexx is so intertwined with the Baited podcast because when the original cast broke up, ImAllexx made a video and spun a bunch of lies. Like, he just made up a bunch of stuff. And I was warning people from that very time. I'm like, this guy is a piece of shit. He's a fucking snake. He then went and falsely accused one of his friends, Zaptai. Remember that whole thing?
Or Slazo.
Yeah.
Then first Zaptai, then Slazo, and
Zaptai, he got away with it for a long time.
Dude,
right?
There's just so much stuff that this guy has done proving that he's an absolute snake. And at the time that I'm telling the internet, like, this is a bad guy, he's like doing this LGBTQ woke stuff. He came out as bisexual 4 times, and he has never had a boyfriend. He's never had a boyfriend. All right? You think of a YouTuber, right? And they're like coming out of the closet, I'm gay and da 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 da. And that video always throughout the history of the internet would go viral. This dude came out as bi 4 times, and he has yet to prove that he sucked a
God damn it.
He sucked a lot of. That's how he made most of his connections, from my understanding. So I think he lives up to those bi allegations a lot better than anybody else.
Well, so for anybody that doesn't really understand, like, the so far, so ImAllexx, first he started off like, well, what do I looked through his, like, old catalog, and it was just, like, commentary slop, like, nothing really thought-provoking, it was just, like, reality TV shit.
And he was mean to this Python, and it felt so bad when he was mean to him, it really hurt his feelings, and we should take him seriously.
This is gonna sound really insensitive. So for anybody that hasn't watched the Discord call, right? Like it exists out there next. Do you have that? Do you know where you can find that call actually?
Yeah, I could link it to you in just a second.
Oh, let's we should all like kind of listen to it together. But anyways, so he's been kind of this goody two shoes dude for a long time. Literally, like, I guess I want to use the term virtue signaler, but I don't want to sound like super cringe about it. But like, he is like one of those virtue signaler kind of guys.
No, 100%, 100%. If there was any little like Me Too statement that came out in the internet, all right, he'd be up there with his lesbian voice. So YouTube is a bad person. You don't tweet women this way. You never tweet women this way. I'm sorry, I need to add like a UK accent to it, right? Like,
no, it's good.
You don't
it's the
tweet
list
women
and
this way. This is horrid. What is happening to all these women? Women, listen. Do not be in these abusive relationships. You got to find a good man, or woman, or trans, you know, LGBT, internet sensation, all in the rainbow.
Christ.
Buy it today. He literally milked the LGBT community with his fucking merch, rainbow fucking internet sensation. I'm fucking bisexual 4 fucking times, milked the ever living fuck out of them, called out every single YouTuber for any fucking slight allegation against them. Virtue signaling is a fucking understatement, all right? If there's like, go to the dictionary right now and look up woke, you're gonna find ImAllexx there. Like, it's like, dude, this guy milked off commentary. He milked off the edgy aspect of the internet and commentary. Then he got exposed by me and others for being a fraud and backstabbing his friends. So then he started milking off the LGBTQ for the last couple years. Then he got exposed for getting the James Charles stuff all wrong, and his channel started dying. So then they rebranded to some other ultra woke stuff. Like, this guy is the biggest fraud, and I've been saying it for years, and I've made it.
How did he get the James Charles stuff wrong? What did he say there? Because all I remember about James Charles was like he was actually texting like a
James. So there were two phases of James Charles drama. The first phase was when Tati came out and called him someone that was basically taking straight people and using his influence to make them sleep with him even when they were underage. That was the first allegation. That was proven either false or questionable. There was no real evidence to that. Then
that was the biggest one.
Yeah, that was the biggest one. Then a whole slew of different allegations came out later. He jumped on the James Charles train for the one without the evidence. That's the one that he backed up.
No, it's even worse than that, non-human. Listen, he came out. Someone came out with a joke with false allegations on James Charles. It literally said, like, I'm joking in the caption. And he ran that story. He ran that one when there was legitimate, like, real evidence against James Charles.
It's kind of insane how, like, anytime, like, we talk about this kind of stuff, like, so I get like a bunch of people who are like, oh, you want to talk about like this one crazy allegation? And it's like, I always say like, dude, I'm really autistic that way. I stick to like financial scams, something a little lower on the emotional tier, like a lot lower on the emotional tier for me. And it's usually because like with sexual assault stuff, it's like a lot of it is a he said, she said situation. And you never want to sit in some situation and make a statement or like start making like an hour-long video and then have it completely age horribly a day from now. Because I think what people forget is like the way that you fall off in this community is like you're allowed to have like a up here and there. It can't be egregious, right? Like you're allowed to up once or twice, but when you're consistently up,
or if you're bald,
who's gonna trust? Jesus Christ! If you're gonna up consistently, just imagine nobody's gonna watch you because you're not a credible source of information, right? Like that's all it comes down to.
As a professional yapper, what is the best way to learn a language? Immersion, baby! Living where the language is spoken and being used every day. And if that's not in the cards this year, you can still learn a language the second best way, with Babbel. 1 in 5 Americans have learn a new language on their bucket list. Time to check it off the list, baby. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's designed by real people for real conversations. The tips and tools are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching, so you're ready to practice what you've learned in the real world. I know it's helped me, and Babbel's speech recognition technology will help you improve your pronunciation and accent as well. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. There are over 16 million subscriptions sold, plus all Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Here's a special limited-time deal for our viewers right now. Get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, babbel.com/SOP. That is 60% off at babbel.com/SOP, spelled BABBEL.com/SOP. Rules and restrictions may apply. Become a professional yapper today. Back to the Yapcast.
So ImAllexx's whole problem is like he is an inconsistent source, and you're right, he is like an absolute 100% virtue signaler, because anybody, like, look, I always look at it like this, like, just wait and just see, like, the worst types of people on the internet, at least, I guess the people that have been tarnished the most, how many allegations are out about them, like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, how many allegations, like, because here's the thing, I always find, like, the nicest the person is, like, the nicer the guy the nicer you are outward facing, the worse the shit comes out of you. Like,
I've been saying this for years.
Years from now.
These people are all phonies. They're all fakes. They're all fakes. You come across someone on the internet and they're super, super nice. The chances of you looking at the actual person, the actual human behind that, are so slim. All right. Most people are just normal. A little bit good, a little bit of bad, all right? But when you have someone that's just like good, squeaky clean, and everyone else is bad, and I'm a good person, and da-da-da-da, that person is a fucking demon. They're a demon.
The biggest red flag in the industry is when someone will make a whole video talking about how important mental health is, which is important. But if you're dedicating your time now to make a whole video talking about it, you're probably a piece of shit to someone else. No, but the irony is, if, let's say, the Discord call got that Alex had, I linked it to you in the chat, if that Discord call got leaked with, let's say, Keem doing it, okay, hypothetically, his backlash would not be nearly this severe, because people have seen his, more raunchy clips, his pop-off moments in the Call of Duty days.
Yeah, I don't really threaten women to bash them in the head with a brick, though. I
am saying that if it would come out, you wouldn't even get as much heat as this guy who made his whole brand about being super nice and not stepping on anyone else's toes. Yeah. And then this comes out and it's like, holy shit. Like, Keemstar, we knew he was basically Jafar from Aladdin. But this guy is a whole other story.
Yeah, but the other thing about it too is like like nobody that's a normal middle of the road guy has to worry about a clip like that coming out. I can sit here and like just confidently say, like, have I had my moments where I've screamed at like an ex-girlfriend? I mean, who hasn't, right? Like, human beings are human beings, but at no point do you tell them, yeah, I'm gonna bash your head against the wall or something.
But it's funny, bash your skull in with a brick. Like, what the?
No, dude. But with the lispy accent, it's just play the clip, bro. Just play the clip.
Yeah, we should play the clip just to give everyone the context of the real horror that ImAllexx is. Okay, and I want to start off by saying too, like, I don't want to dog on the girl, but it's like, bro, in order to be intimidated by this, oof, it is. It's not the best. Where is it? Brave tab. Here it is. Kavos is sharing it. So boom. So here is ImAllexx. Let's just zoom out a little bit.
Look at that face. Oh my god.
He looks like a Muppet.
He looks like Voldemort. Drew.
Look at that.
Dude, he whipped out the whole streaming setup for this too.
Is it generally because you're just brain dead?
Yeah, I'm very brain dead, yeah.
Is that why you decided to go on being offensive instead of the maybe?
Offensive.
I don't know what to call what you did. It was weird. It's always weird. You always take the weird route. Just do the normal route, which is just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend.
Yeah, acting like
I
this is all
mean
just me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up. Because this one, genuinely, this one,
this
royally.
But this is the one that got recorded. Imagine how much more shit there is.
ImAllexx could attack you with a battle axe and it would feel like a bee sting. Like, who the f- is that guy threatening? And by the way, audience, if you haven't seen, there is so much more. There's like video after video after video. He's called his girlfriend a dog. He's threatening people. At one point, he called his girlfriend the N-word.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's like one of those guys where it's like, this is what I always love. Too. It's like, I hate the people that are always like, guys, racism is bad. And I'm like, wow.
No.
What a really shocking statement, by the way. Like, oh boy, you shouldn't be dropping the hard N-word all the time?
Mr. Woke Guy, Mr. Virtue Signaler is calling his girlfriend the N-word. That is
But he would make exposed videos on people if they said the word and then he goes out here and they release all of his texts and all that shit. He literally said it more times than the three of us combined to just his ex-girlfriends.
He said it more times than all of us have on this podcast, and we're not even like self-censoring about that too. Like,
you want to hear something that's great? Like 5 years ago, we did a Bait It reunion. And I'm saying a lot of stuff. I'm like, this guy is going to be finished. Eventually, the audience, and this is when Alex peak of his career, right? He's pulling like maybe a couple million views a video, right? And I'm saying this guy is going down. The audience is finally going to figure out who he is. And there's this one line in that Bait It from 5 years ago where I go, my career is definitely going to last long enough to be on Drama Alert and report your career ending. It's gonna happen. And I did it. And I did it 2 days ago when this story broke. I went on Drama Alert. By the way, we upload every single day on Snapchat. And I went on Drama Alert and exposed this dude, called him out for all these clips, played the clips, and his career is over. There is no coming back from this. Yeah. This is so egregious. The only way this guy comes back is if he does like the Keffels route and Tipster route. Oh, I'm not doing trauma anymore. I'm just a gamer streamer.
Bro, what do you mean comes back? They get like 4 views on a stream. Like that is not coming back.
Well, I tuned into a Tipster stream, and man, I was furious. Not just to the fact that like this guy was annoying, but it's like he's like some IT admin and he couldn't even operate a video game from 1990.
I don't know, man. I just saw the Tipster clip floating around where he's trying to defend and he's like, and his big defense is, they called me out for having of a girl, but it was in fact a child boy.
Yeah, I know. It's like the dumbest defenses you could ever find, dude.
Checkmate, liberals.
That video he made had like the worst image like on it. It was like literally a slide where it's like, is this image lolly? Question mark. I'm like, dude, this guy. Sometimes they just come up with
Tipster's the type of dude to go in his Discord with his friends and flex that he bought tampons. Like he like literally is that type of dude. Like if you see the leaked Discord conversation, he's just nonstop, just pandering to the LGBTQ and trans people. It's like crazy. It's like it doesn't make sense. And now if this was him the entire time, fine, but that's not the Tipster I knew like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And all of a sudden he's just this new person that's like obsessed with trans rights.
Well, even with stuff like this, it's like if sometimes like if you're like super duper closeted, it's like whatever, you're really repressive. It takes a while come out. So I don't know that person's journey or whatever, but to me personally, like, and as somebody that has like actual like gay family members, like you can talk to them about it, right? And it's like, because one interesting that I talked about is like, well, I'm like, do you ever put up a flag or something? He's like, no. It's like, it's me being gay. Like that's not my life. Like it's just a one aspect.
He did come out recently as pansexual, and I'm like, it's probably more like pan, the plate, the fork, the spoon, and all the utensils.
Damn.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. You know, I can't say much about like Tipster. Like the reason that I cannot stand that guy is he's like an actual shapeshifter in terms of like there's no allegiance or understanding.
True,
and like
round
the worst
is
part
a
about
shape.
it,
Round is a shape.
That is true. The worst part about it too is like there's also like no understanding of like a story. Like that guy will never put any effort into understand basically anything. And the worst part about it too is like even after I made like that one Keffels video, it's like, bro, no one in that community was willing to engage with it other than shitting on the thumbnail, which is like I was talking to Jen about it too. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have used that thumbnail, but I'm like, actually, who cares? Like they shared that video. I'm like, crazy because that
Dude,
thumbnail,
I
so-
thought it was the dumbest argument ever. Like, if you make a commentary video on someone, you don't make them look good in the thumbnail. You just don't. Like, come on, that is literally industry standard. All right. So, like, I'm so sick of all these f***ing people on the internet living in a f***ing metaverse, like living in a complete different reality than me. It's so frustrating when there's not just like no one lives in base reality on the internet. It's so the other day I posted a picture of my fucking Cybertruck or a video, I can't remember what it was, and I'm like, why the is there like 50 quote retweets on it? And I'm looking at the quote retweets and it's all talking crazy shit about the Cybertruck, about me, and I'm like, this is wild. Where's this hate coming from, right? I noticed every single one of these accounts had either a in Palestine or a trans flag in the bio. This was literally like a Discord group or a bots that they've sent on to attack me because I have a Cybertruck. Like, what is this?
In the words of Gandhi, why am I still getting hate?
Exactly.
Well, the thing about the bot actually argument like makes a lot of sense too, because it's like I remember a while back when like Keffels was doing her shit, she would just instantly ratio accounts, and I remember at the time like I was like, man, how did these guys get like quick ratios? And I'm like, oh, they're streaming 24/7 to like an audience of like 3,000-4,000 people, so they're just like ratioing anybody. I think ratioing is absolutely stupid. Like if I write 2 + 2 = 4 and you ratio that and say it's 5, well, that just means the people ratioing me are all. And it's like, it doesn't change math. It just means that it's a pack of tards on the internet.
Speaking about botting, Drama ran a story yesterday that ImAllexx was losing subscribers and someone's on his live account, and then it just jumped up 5K subs.
Ooh.
Like out of nowhere. It's on Drama Twitter. It's crazy.
I never
that's
understand
cool.
the whole botting thing. Like, that's actually interesting. I never understand the botting thing because it's so easy if you're in the game to know if somebody's botting, right? Like, if my channel like you know, like it peaks, it valleys, it peaks, it's valley, because that's how YouTube works, right? Like you have like your bad months, your good months, your bad months, your good months. If every single time I was doing the capitalist route by like botting my account to look bigger and bigger, everyone would call that shit out easily, right? Like unless there was some easily provable way that this thing looked natural. It's so evident, and then they just like it leads to that Streisand effect where now you have more people talking about that because now we're going to be talking about a little bit of that botting shit too.
But here's
also-
the thing. People do it because it's the perfect crime. You can't get exposed for it because when you call someone out for botting, they're like, I didn't do it. Maybe someone else is doing it. Well, maybe one of my haters. Like, bro, there's no way to hold someone down. Look at Comedy Shorts Gamer. All right,
I was
Edgy.
about to say that. Didn't he sue Kavos?
Kavos, yeah.
Dude,
Because Kavos
he
exposed him
got
for it?
caught. He got caught so red-handed in this. It was his mother's email, okay? His mother's email. The IP went to his house. Kavos had overwhelming evidence that the channel was botted. And he just sued Kavos. Kavos had to delete the video because he couldn't fight it. UK, it's easier to sue someone in UK than it is in America. Like, way easier.
Yeah, the
To
defamation.
be fair, though,
standard
Deji
is
has
so
a
beneficial.
dumb high IQ. He has an IQ of 189. Are you aware of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the thing about like
That's an
the thing
actual
about
clip.
even, like,
It's a real clip.
dude, that was from his video where like every single sentence he said was like super meme.
Yeah, I love that video.
But
I gotta make a point. I gotta make a point about this ImAllexx thing, or I'm gonna explode. Okay.
Please.
no, go ahead.
So
go ahead.
ImAllexx has had multiple friend groups, but his main friend group throughout the years is the E-Boys, right? Wilney, Memeology, or whatever the
Memeology,
whatever these people's names are, right? Whole group of commentary friends in the E-Boys, right? When he just got exposed for saying this horrible stuff, because he not only was he verbally abusive, and we know that to be a fact because we got video proof of it, but allegedly he was also physically abusive, right? When this came out, all of his friends put out statements saying, oh, this is horrible for the girlfriend. We feel sorry for her. She's so brave and this and that. And like these generic, phony ass statements. You listen to me,
I'm
you
sorry to cut
fucking
you off,
E-boy
but
mother. Oh, I
Wait,
want to go
let
in.
him make his.
I'm
He's
sorry.
gonna give a
Yeah,
thread.
go ahead.
Let him
No,
say
go
the
ahead.
thread.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want to go in. I want to go in.
Pop off, King.
Listen to me, you E-boy fucking phonies. Why do you have money in your bank account? Because you would upload videos to the internet and you would talk to your fans, and you would get ImAllexx, that motherfucker, to be in your videos, right? And now that he's being exposed for this, you put out a statement like you're some Hollywood actor with a PR team. No, you're a YouTuber. You talk to your audience, all right? What kind of fake, phony shit is this? If this happened to like Muta or something, I'd come out and say, I'd make a Twitter video. I'd talk to my fans. Be like, I thought Muta was a great guy. I had no idea that he was slapping his, you know what I mean? I'm gonna talk to my audience. You are a fucking fraud. And listen here, viewers, you are fucking dumb. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're so dumb. You give these guys millions and millions of followers and subs and believe everything they say, but they're fucking phonies. They won't talk to you like real people. They won't show you who they really are. They just act. Dude, we'll need a fucking statement. Go talk to your audience about this. Be fucking real. I don't want to fucking hear about like, that was so brave for the fucking girlfriend to come out. You're not thinking that in your head. When you saw ImAllexx getting exposed, you went to your boys, you said, oh shit, wow, he's a garbage human. Remember when he did this and remember when he did that and da-da-da-da? You weren't sitting there, Will Nee, saying, wow, she's so brave. You were actually thinking that. You fucking fraud. You fake motherfuckers. I'm so sick of everybody in this industry being a fucking phony. Talk to your fans like a real human.
You know, I just want to say too, like when you have friends, and I 100% agree. When you have friends, right? Like the reason why I didn't like make the video on like ImAllexx or anything, like it's not really in my purview right now. Like again, like I said before we filmed this, it's like when you talk about like sex assault stuff, it's just or like any form of allegation, it's like too, I don't know, it's tough to cover that stuff. I might as well cover something else that would get like, you know, a third of the viewership because it's a lot easier. But when you're so connected, you know, like when this is your boy, like if this is like Caleb, you know, or like Nux or like Keem or something, or like somebody that you're close to.
I feel like we've lived through this, Muta, specifically.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Quake got the allegations? Like, when that happened, it was a dark day. I didn't go out and start making Twitter shit. I waited for the response like a normal human being, and I reached out to him to make sure he's okay. You know, like humans tend to do. But you know, everyone kept attacking us in our comment sections on the podcast, on our personal accounts. You know, why aren't you making a statement? You know, Quite was your friend, and it turns out he was completely vindicated of everything. Right? Obviously, that's not going to happen with ImAllexx because there was actual evidence. But
the thing about it is, when you're so close, like ImAllexx and his friends, like when you're running a business together, right? Like the E-Boys, because that is what it is. Like first and foremost, it's a business.
Yep.
You have a closer relationship than anyone else on the internet. So I refuse to believe all the guys coming out with statements didn't have any idea about how this guy acted behind the scenes.
Super unlikely.
They all knew.
You know?
They all knew. And they won't just talk to their fans and be like, honestly, I haven't got along with Alex for quite some time. He did some shitty stuff to me. They won't just fucking be real, all right? So stop following these phonies. Stop going there and buying your little fucking E-Boy merch and your fucking internet censation merch. Stop supporting
I like
these
the shirt
frauds.
I like the ImAllexx shirt where it's like, I accuse my friends of
That's a good one.
The meme. It's a meme. It's a meme.
But if it wasn't, I would buy one. But as far as like the don't be a phony type thing, like I don't know. There's two types of content creators on the internet. There are people that create content that you watch them for their content, and for me, that's like a TV show or whatever. And I don't care about the personality of the person that's making the content. I'm just there for the content, the theatrics and stuff like that.
Right.
Then there's the commentary-esque people, the people that I am watching them because I like them as a person and I like their opinions, their thoughts. You know, like the Moist Criticals, the three of us, for example, that, you know, it's someone who's much more opinion commentary based than just theatrical. Like Mr. Beast,
like
for
you're
example.
watching Asmongold for him, not necessarily even just a thing that he's talking
Mr.
about.
Beast, you don't watch Mr. Beast for Mr. Beast's personality. You watch him for the theatrics. It's like a TV show.
Right.
So, like, I don't need the theatrical guys to come out with the talk to your fans statements. But the people that make commentary for a living, but they're not willing to do commentary on, you know, something super duper relevant and to how they are perceived by people, it just comes off as fake.
Here's my rule. If you're going on podcast, right? Like all of them, they go on podcast, right? If you're going on podcast and you're doing like what we're doing right now and talking to a fucking audience, there never, ever should be a situation where you have to put out a statement. There shouldn't be a situation where you have to put out a statement. You have a microphone. You have a fucking voice. You are famous from talking to an audience. Talk to the goddamn audience. Talk to them. Speak to them. Statements are for fucking, like, actors and shit. You're not an actor.
For people that don't want to get in the crosshairs of drama. If they just don't want to get their hands dirty.
I think they are actors. I think they are actors. Like, they're not putting any like thought into like because they don't give a shit about whatever the audience. The whole thing about the statement, and this is why they make a statement, is like if it's on Twitter, because it's not on YouTube, they want to be rubbing their hands clean of this shit as fast as they can.
Yep.
If you make a YouTube video, like here's the thing, your idea of a YouTube video makes sense if you really are just like in touch with your fans, right? Like I would make a YouTube video even though I know that it would be easier if I make a Twitter statement because like an eighth of the audience will see that and I technically have made my statement and I can move past this and cut my ties. But that's why these guys don't want to do it, right? Because if they make a YouTube statement, more and more of the underage fans are going to watch this shit and they're probably going to start peeking into all this stuff too. Like that one other guy, InAllexx, came out. He was also another one of these like hyper virtue signalers too, right? Like believes any statement imaginable, just does not, like he's just one of those guys like, you guys know that racism's bad? You guys know that beating your wife is bad? Like these things have to be constantly repeated because we're that stupid that we don't understand these basic things. And now one of his like ex-girlfriends, I don't know if she's like crazy or not or if she's valid or not in her statement or her thing, she's throwing him under the bus. She's like, that guy is also abusive as well. And I'm like, bro, it's always the most pristine, clean, nice dudes out there, you know, simple as that. Like it's
mark my words, Muta and non-human dude. I'm
me.
telling you this right now.
But I have hair.
All these people that put out statements, ImAllexx's former friends, all right, shit's gonna come out on them. Shit's gonna come out on them. They're not real fucking people. They're fucking phonies. I'm telling you right now, mark my words. And I said this when we recorded Beta, and guess what? I never got exposed. And I'm saying it here, dude. These frauds will continue to get exposed because you don't know who they are.
To quote Napoleon, can't wait to report your death.
No, but the thing is like, so do you know something behind the scenes of why it's gonna happen? Like shit's gonna come out, or is it just because of Alex or whatever?
Just because they're fake. Just because they're fake. I knew Alex was gonna get exposed because he was a liar, a pathological liar, and a phony and a fraud. Mm-hmm. His friend group, after I seen these statements, the first thing I thought of, oh, they're gonna be next. They have some fucking skeletons that are going to come out because they're not real people. They don't talk to their audience when it involves some drama like this. They put out statements and just avoid it. It's so silly. It's so silly.
Well, I mean, people try to avoid drama. I guess it kind of makes sense. Apparently, the statements made against InAllexx were fake. Apparently.
Oh, they were?
Well,
yeah, that's why I said, I'm like, I don't know, like, how much you can, like, really trust the war, like, because it's always a he said, she said, but it's, like, just another thing where it's, like, another guy comes out, and then, like, you can't, like, you can't even, like, really trust him or whatever he says, because it's just, you know. I will tell you right now, out of all the people that the internet has branded some of the worst individuals out there, I have never seen an allegation on, I don't think we ever seen one on Keem even, right? Like, we haven't ever seen one. Like, have you ever had like a jilted ex come out and say shit about you? Because
no,
it's not to my recollection.
That's the craziest thing.
I've never had any female come out and say that like I was abusive or verbally abusive or this or that. Never. You want to know why? I'm a real person.
Jesus Christ.
If some female in my past came out and he was like, he yelled at me, I'd be like, yeah, I did yell. And here's why. This I told her to go park my car, and she fucking rammed it into my garage. Yeah, she got a fucking earful. I'm not going to put out some fucking statement being like, yeah, I really messed up. Yeah, I know accidents happen with vehicles, and, you know, she's really brave for coming out and telling the internet about me losing my temper because she crashed my car. Like, I'm not going to do that, bro.
You'd be like, there's two pedals, dumbass. One goes forward,
exactly.
One stops.
Exactly.
No, but it is wild that it's like the pristine people.
I would be mad at myself though, because you know I should have known better. Women drivers.
Jesus Christ, dude. You are like...
Yeah, destroyed.
I'm on one today. My bad.
No.
Turns
no,
out,
but it's like...
just like the Baited podcast, this is also me, Muda, and Clown.
Jesus Christ. Clown's not a blatant misogynist like him, though. Come on now.
No, I was referring to... Okay, whatever. Anyway.
I love women. I love women.
True. Yeah.
True.
No, as far as all your dramas, most of them have been with men. So, I mean, whatever. But it is wild, though, that the amount of content and exposed videos on Keem, and it's like, the worst you could say about him is that he's gotten stories wrong. You know?
Yeah, like the only thing is like the Tony Winchester story that was like the worst, and it's like a lot of the clips that get shared.
Okay,
yeah,
but
why does everyone leave out the part that I exposed myself for getting that wrong? I deleted the video, uploaded an apology within 4 hours. It was like, we are so wrong. Like, why does everyone leave that part out?
Well, okay, so you take your self-responsibility, and yes, it is something in your team. It's not like a completely unforgivable mistake, but out of all the mistakes, it's like, I guess the most egregious one, because I feel like when people bring up like the N-word clips from like what is it, Ustream,
15,
I believe it was
Battle Cam 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's
and I'm sitting over there, I'm like, dude, if you dug up Alex's Xbox Live messages, which is the funniest clip I've ever seen, and I shouldn't even say this is funny because it's from that domestic abuse, verbal abuse clip. They took that audio and just put it on an Xbox Live like message.
You know,
oh my god.
You know what's the worst thing about me calling Alex the N-word 15 years ago?
It's because we can use that now.
besides the racist part, besides that, I mean, obviously that's the worst part, right? But
as ImAllexx says, racism is bad, in fact.
Yeah.
But underneath the racism part of it, aspect of it, now on Drumbler, when I call out like a content creator for saying the N-word, there's a million replies of me saying the N-word 15 years ago. And it's like, yes, but like I was wrong and I got canceled for that. And this person is also wrong and being racist and being a piece of shit. And like that, like people are like, bro, like somehow I've lost the right to cover a story or call someone out for saying the N-word because I did 15 years ago. I didn't lose the right. I took a major L. I'm still taking the L. And anyone else does it, you're taking the L too, God damn it.
Dude, well, that clip, like, it doesn't help that clip is such a meme at this point, because that same clip what's hilarious, because since ImAllexx's name is Alex Emsley, like, it's literally like
Elmsley.
One meme I saw on Twitter was like a fight between Keem and Alex, and then it's just like the clip of him fighting this girl.
I hate all Alexes. I really hate every Alex.
Oh my
all
Lord.
Alexes. Yeah. They're all garbage.
Well, so there's no coming back from it, right? Like, he's effectively, like, he's not gonna have like any career coming out of this. Unless he transitions.
I don't want to
some
spoil
other
it, but we talked about a way he could come back on Baited, and it's pretty crafty. It's pretty crafty.
Yeah.
Does it involve him like turning into like the other like right wing grifter shit or something?
I want to.
Okay, we'll leave it for the Baited. Yeah. When is that going to be out though? Like when you guys gonna end
it
up
premieres in 3 hours.
All right, so it'll be out before this for sure.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Badass. Well, so the other thing is, it's like, all right, so I think what Alex did is terrible, and this is going to be kind of like a really, really hot take, but when his friends came out with the statements like, this is the most abhorrent shit that I've ever seen, like, they were acting like this was the Gulf War all over again, like, they were witnessing war crimes, and I'm like... All we saw was him yell at his girlfriend, and it's like, again, when it comes to these situations, too, there's also, like, a lot of context. Again, I don't know if he's physically abusive. That's a statement nobody can make until they actually see some real evidence of it.
Yeah.
So if he's just yelling at his girlfriend, it's like, okay, well, first off, it's not 9/11 or anything. It's not the worst thing you've ever seen.
For me, the annoying part with all the responses is the, like, did they really not know anything was going on at all?
Oh, I don't believe that.
For me,
I think
that's
everyone
the
knew
weird
something.
part.
It's like everyone knows something about. Like we're all grown adults. We've all been around people that give us bad vibes.
And they've been roommates. Like he's been roommates with half the people that have made these statements. You know, like
yeah. It's not a good situation. I think the other thing too is like the fact that this argument also happened over Discord kind of shows like a real lack of like it's just it's so surreal to me, right? Like if I'm mad at like a significant other, we're always talking in person. It's not even like over the phone, you know? Like we're
How-
not even like arguing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in person. So I
How
don't
old
get
is
the
he?
Discord.
How old is he? He's like 24,
25,
right?
I think.
Okay,
25.
so you're 25 years old, all right? You have more money in the bank than any other 25-year-old, right? You're dating this girl for like, they were dating for a while, right? And she doesn't live with you? Like, you're talking to your girlfriend on Discord? Like, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, bro. She lives in another internet.
It's weird. Like, what 25-year-old with their own place is like, you know, he doesn't have his girlfriend nearby or hangs out with her in real life. He's having the relationship on Discord. Like, that's so fucking strange and weird by itself.
Well, it's like a lot of people just have their entire friend group over Discord, right? Like, I consider you guys friends, but it's like we're over the internet kind of stuff. But we all have like friends that we talk to in reality, right? Like in the real
But not a
fucking world, like we leave our
girlfriend.
house.
Come on,
No.
dude. I bet if he tries to like get out of this situation, he's gonna say yes. The things I said, the things that I said was hard and it was really bad. But the thing is, he was gaslighting me. This woman kept saying a bunch of stuff that really set me off. You know, he's gonna say something like that. And it's like,
I was triggered. I told her I was triggered, and she triggered me again.
no one cares that this girl triggered you. They're not going to care. They're not going to care that this girl cheated on you or this girl gaslit you. No one's going to give a Alex. Like you had a whole career off of preaching to people, all right, saying bad person, you're a bad person, you're a bad person, you're a bad person. When it turns out you're a bad person. You're a bad person.
It's
and
so
now
cool.
everybody knows.
Like, you hate him, like, on such a
I hate
personal
him.
level. It's
I hate him.
amazing.
I hate him, and I tried to warn everyone, and no one listened to me.
All right, Keem, top 3 most hated YouTubers. Go.
ImAllexx.
Me. No, I don't think. All right, whatever. Anyway, aside from me.
Let me think. I got to think about this.
Bro, Ethan Klein didn't
H3,
even-
for
No,
sure.
never mind.
For sure. ImAllexx, H3H3. Who else do I really, really hate? Probably Bull Blacks. Like, I hate that right now.
Bro, you're really gonna put Alex? You're gonna put Bobby up there with Alex?
Yo, what?
Because he also just like will say fake stuff all the time. Like just make up shit, say fake stuff.
He reads tweets.
No.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Okay. Get educated on that. Get educated on that. That's a phony.
straight.
See, that's a phony thing that he says in defense all the time, but he's constantly giving his opinions. Guys, they're just retweets. Like it's just more fakeness. And you know what? Throughout the years, like I've had spats with him, and then we've been cool, and then spats, and then we're cool. I just got to the point recently where I'm like, I really don't like you at all. Remember when he was trying to raise the money to get his stuffed animal or whatever? Like I spent like $3,000 or something to help him. He was trying to sell like,
Yeah, he was it's like some merch thing, like a plushie.
yeah.
You know.
And he had to hit a certain quota in order to sell the plushies, or people didn't get them and they got refunded. And he wasn't going to make the deadline. So H3H3 like helped him, but then like charged it back. So I went in for the rescue to help him out, so he'd hit the quota, right? And he thanked me and everything. But then he like made this remark, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but he kind of laughed at me for spending that much money, because eventually the fans came through and he would have hit the quota anyways. And they like laughed at it that I did that. And I'm like, I
That's
just,
a bitch move, honestly.
I don't like you,
Yeah, that's a
you
pretty
know,
shitty
like
thing
I
to
just,
do.
and then he makes comments about my girlfriend all the time. And it's like, I don't want to get into the details, but I just don't like him. I'm done with that kid.
What about iDubbbz? You like iDubbbz more than Boblax?
I don't have a personal, I've never had a personal like beef or anger against iDubbbz. Even when he made the content cop at me, I thought it was funny, but it's never been personal, right? Someone making fun of me, someone cracking jokes, all that stuff. This is what I signed up for, right? At the end of the day,
Right.
we're YouTubers, right? We get up on a stage, we tap dance, the audience or other commentators get to throw shit at us, right? The only time where I'm going to get fucking triggered is when you're lying, when you're fucking lying. When you're saying some dumb shit, like I'll tell you one thing that triggers me. The fucking commentary videos with the title, The Rise and Fall of Keemstar. I'm getting more views and more money than I've ever had in my fucking career. There is no fucking fall. It's a rise and rise. It's a rise and rise.
Dude, it's a YouTube
Not
title.
a rise and fall.
Bro,
Not
it's a
rise
YouTube
and fall.
title.
There is no fall. There is no fall.
Dude, you made a YouTube title. Call Me Carson's career is over. It's not over.
You if you
Not
want
over.
to if you want to say rise and fall with Keemstar, let's fucking race. Line it up, 40-yard dash, and we'll see who fucking falls. We'll see who falls.
You know. Actually,
Fastest
speaking of
boy.
iDubbbz, one of the things that like I don't know if you caught it, but they run this podcast. I think it's like
God.
Maximum Damage or like She Ruined My Career or whatever the
Oh,
hell
God.
it is. It's him and his wife. They do this podcast and like so. By the way, I just want to start off by saying, like, so they run the show. And they were talking about like commentary YouTubers, and they were like thinking of doing a documentary where they were gonna go like, I guess, meet one of the people in the space and like see what their day to day was. I don't think they're ever gonna pick somebody that's got their shit together. You know, like I don't think you're ever gonna see Turkey Tom. I don't think they're because I'll pay full for them to come over and like shadow us like for a week.
I vote Turkey Tom. I think Turkey Tom is like the leading commentary person right now. If you're gonna look at olds, I know like Charlie and like you probably get more views than Turkey Tom, right? But I feel like he is still that original 2016 commentary person, and he's the leader in that actual genre. So I think they should pick him for sure.
No, I feel like Tom is a great thing because Tom gets a lot of viewership. I would say that he probably has as much impact as like me. Charlie's obviously like a stage ahead, but I would say that Tom probably on the same level with me, if not a little bit more at this point, to be honest with you, because he does everything right. Like he just doesn't do like the video essays. He's doing daily content. He's doing streams. Like Tom is a workhorse. So it'd be one because like one of the things that I thought of is like, so they'll probably go after Tom and say, oh, you said the N-word or something, when are you going to grow up? And Tom could just be like, I'm 21, bro, you're like 30, you figured out racism was bad 10 years later, so I guess 10 years down the road. I don't know, I feel like Tom can run circles around him. I don't think they want to sit there and say I don't think they want to just ever engage with somebody popular or somebody that knows her. Go ahead, sorry.
I like Charlie, and I've known Charlie for years. So I just want to preference this because I'm about to shit on him. But Charlie back in the day he would upload Halo videos and gameplay videos, and he wouldn't even partner his channel. And then eventually he partnered his channel and gave all the money to charity. And this is for years and years and years. This is way before Charlie blew up.
Yep.
So I've always respected him and had a ton of respect for this guy. But he did do the commentary for Creator Clash for iDubbbz and his wife's boxing stuff. And every time iDubbbz is in the news or iDubbbz's wife is in the news, I don't see Charlie making a video on it. I don't see him making a video on it.
So?
And this is like one of these things where it's like, no, dude, like you're the good guy. You're the guy that's not going to just like put a blind eye because you're like friends or you worked with them. Like you're going to cover the story. You're going to do your job. Do you know how many times I have to cover stories on my fucking YouTuber friends, like, because they did something fucking bad and I got to cover it because it's my job. I signed up to run fucking Trompler, right? I got to fucking cover it. Now I try to, help people out as much as I can, but I still got to cover the story, right?
See, when Charlie specifically, he covers things that he finds interesting. So like when iDubbbz did his whole rebrand thing, where he's like, I was actually a bad person. I apologize to Tanamongo, and I have decided to castrate myself. You know that video? When he did that, Penguin's Charlie made his video talking about it because he thought it was like a really interesting thing in the YouTube landscape. And he said they didn't need to apologize. He had the controversial take of that entire discussion. Charlie had the controversial take where he said, iDubbbz shouldn't be apologizing, etc., etc.
Yeah, but nobody walked away from Charlie's video saying like, oh, iDubbbz's bad person, right? Or iDubbbz's wife a bad person, right?
But that's not what he finds interesting. Like he covered the Pokimane thing because he thought it was hilarious that Pokimane's editor was jerking off to her or whatever. So he covered that because that's like a goofy internet story. To cover a video,
if you
this
can't
person
notice,
is a bad person.
Nux, if you can't notice the politics that Charlie is doing with his coverage of certain things, you're an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Be smart.
What's the politics? Explain.
Notice the
Explain.
politics. Notice.
Well,
I just think that I think that when you're intertwined into a boxing event, obviously like you're not going to make a video on it because you're intertwined, not financially, but you're intertwined in that event is the thing, right? Like maybe I wouldn't make a Creator Clash video if I was like a commentator on it, because who knows what that's going to do to the event. Maybe that's the whole thing. And
I don't know, but he's made videos. It's not like it's like that Twitch crowd or whatever that he's trying to appease super hard. He makes videos on Pokemon whenever he has drama.
Has he made videos criticizing Pokemon?
Yes, the cookie thing. And the cookie thing was like a bullshit, stupid drama, and he still shit on her for being greedy. So anyway, the rare Keemstar raises among the shadow of W's.
No, I asked you a question. I asked you a question because I didn't know the answer. So
and now you do.
Yeah, the Pokemon stuff, like everyone crapped on her for that too. But no, I
not everyone. Like Hassan defended her. Hassan defended her and argued with Charlie on the cookie thing. He's like, I don't know, man.
I don't think it was just Hassan. It was like Ethan as well too. Like there was a lot of people weirdly in defense of her.
When are you ever gonna show your face, Nux?
I don't think I will.
Ever.
I make enough money doing it. Why do I have to?
Do you talk to your mother with that face?
I try.
Do you bring out the? Do you do it on like FaceTime?
Do you talk to your? Do you talk to your boyfriend with that face?
Gee,
I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
God damn it.
Yeah, but no. The way I see it, Ninja could never call me a bald because, well, he has no idea.
Ninja didn't call me a bald.
I didn't say he did. I just said he couldn't call that to me.
Ninja got hacked, and the hacker tweeted out bald.
That, to be honest, is one of the greatest ratios of all time. Because you still get ratioed with the screenshot of that tweet. That's pretty awesome.
People don't like my tweets. There's some people that do YouTube like ImAllexx that want to be liked, right? Maybe you're one of those nucks, like you want to be loved and you want to be liked. I never wanted to be liked. I want to be viewed.
You've seen my content.
I wanted people to hear what I had to say and hear my opinions, and that's what's most important is being watched.
100%.
Well, do you think like hold on, wait, do you think like not being liked has led to the longevity of your career though? Like instead of trying to pander to somebody, you're just like, it'll just be me, and if you're not my friend,
yes.
I think if there's some crazy drama going on in the community, I think people want to hear what I think about it, because I'm not gonna put out some, this is really bad and they're a horrible person and you need to do better. I'm not going to say something like that. I'm going to say what I really think about it, right? So yeah, in a way, being real and giving your real opinions and being authentic, I think goes a long ways. Yeah.
I think it's even more than that. It's if you're always worried about being liked, the first thing that you do wrong is going to shatter everyone's perspective of you. They're never going to see you the same way. So someone that doesn't wear a mask, like the mask can't fall off. I think that's the major difference. Keem, I remember watching your drama alert back in the day. Whenever you'd cover something involving like one of your friends, you did seem biased. This is from my perspective, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. They're your friends, sure, whatever. But you did definitely seem biased. But that's the person that you are, and that's who I'm watching.
But I might be biased because I know them, right? And I'm like, look, he probably didn't do this, or I don't know that's not the FaZe Banks I knew, right? Or something like that. I might be biased, but I covered the story.
You did.
Covered the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
but that's the thing. It's like, you went on your main platform, you talked about it, and it's like you had to rake somebody over the coals, rightfully so. You do it, right? Like it is.
Yeah.
It is what I remember. Like when the Blade stuff happened, like when Only Using Blade was in the IRL streaming like hell. Like there was a moment where it's like you're on the streams with Ice Poseidon, like trying to do the intervention, and then after that, it's like, okay, this guy just wants to ruin his shit. Then
dude, I tried to get Blade to quit alcohol like so many different times.
He's
tried
quit,
to be a good friend. He's quit now, but after that, after the multiple interventions that I did with Blade, he threw a dog. He got drunk and threw a dog, and I'm like, I had to publicly tweet this friendship off type of shit. Because it was like, dude, no, you're not. I'm not going to be friends with someone that throws animals. Like,
yeah,
that's the line, baby. animals.
It is. I hate it. I hate it. You know, I'm doing work out here, right? Picking up boulders every single day, building this giant rock wall. If you want to see it, it's on my Twitter, this whole series. And like, there'll be like worms and like ants and all kinds of crazy stuff under the rocks. Like, I go out of my way to make sure I don't smush them or kill them. I mean, it's unavoidable. You're going to kill some things. But no, I love animals and I hate senseless death. I can't stand it.
Yeah. Well,
everyone has a moral code, and you actually do say yours in public. I don't know.
Well, it's a good moral code.
Did you see the vegan teachers? Speaking of moral codes, did you see the vegan teacher talking about how feeding a baby ribs is the same as having with a child? Did you see that video of hers?
What? Oh, that guy's a nut job, bro. What?
Dude, I'm telling you, I've okay. Okay, let me pull it up.
What the? How do you say these words without skipping a beat, bro?
Oh my god.
What the?
I don't know. It's the perk of having an avatar. You don't see my face puckering every time I mention the vegan teacher.
Well, like, the thing about, like, while you look that up, one of the other things, like, so we talked about, like, Alex, right? Like, obviously for a big chunk of this video because he was a pretty important subject. But I think, arguably, there's one person that's in worse waters. One person, not arguably, I think there's one person that is far worse than Alex right now. And anybody that doesn't know that is Nick Rekieta. The last time we talked about him, right, like, we didn't know much about this guy's lore. But for anybody that doesn't know Nick Rekieta, he's kind of like one of these conservative adjacent, like, lawyers, I guess, like these right-wing adjacent types, you know what I mean? Like, they're always in that community of people, the outrage merchants. He got really big doing, what is it, the Johnny Depp trial, like a bunch of trials on the internet. And like a year ago, literally like a year and a half ago, he was probably one of the hottest lawyers on the platform, you know? Up there with like Legal Mindset and shit.
Legal. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, legal.
Legal Mindset's our friend. He'll get there. He'll get there.
Yeah, he'll get there. But Legal, he's up there with like some of the biggest people, like millions of subscribers, like big dude. So the thing about Nick Rekieta is like recently in the last month, he's been like the cops raided him. He got caught with 20 plus grams of cocaine, firearms in the same house, which if you don't know anything, that's a huge felony. No, you can't be doing that kind of shit. And literally like, so my whole thing is like, listen, if it was maybe drugs and degeneracy, I would be okay with that if he was like upfront. But he's like one of these like Christian type of guys where it's like you can't be a degenerate. Like he had that history, you know. So it's like you can't be living one lie, or you can't be living one lifestyle and then, you know, preach the other, right? Like that's hypocrisy. But I think what's really unforgivable and what's different from like the whole Alex stuff is Nick has kids. Now the problem is like a day ago it came out that like his kids tested positive for cocaine.
Yep.
Like, so I asked Jen about this too. I'm like, what is a cocaine positive? Like, does that mean you're doing it? And she's like, there's probably a bunch of reasons why that happens. But like, there's one inexcusable truth is like he had coke near his kids. Like, him and his wife, apparently, like they just had it near their kids. Enough for it to be testing positive at the amount that it was. So it's like there's just no coming back from that guy. And he's facing up to like, what, 20 years in prison. And I really think like when you have like kids involved in anything, like it's not a hot take, but it's like you should absolutely never be treated lightly by any, like you should be going to jail 100%.
And can I say this, all right? When Nick got arrested, all right, which was I think May 24th or May 25th, somewhere in that time, all right, and the news came out, I put out a tweet saying Nick Rekieta is innocent until proven guilty. But based on what is alleged, I'm shocked at how many people are defending him, especially when kids were allegedly in danger. Now, this came from the police report that kids were allegedly in danger and the kids were taken away, okay? The response to that tweet, it was multiple lawyer YouTubers coming out saying, there's no evidence of the kids were in danger and how dare you put out this tweet and you're a garbage human. I got attacked for putting out that tweet. And now we find out this, that the 9-year-old child was tested positive for cocaine, allegedly, right? Now we keep finding more and more information about how the kids were in danger. Once again, let me say it for the record. Keemstar's always right. Like, dude, like what is
it's so
this?
funny, like why all the lawyers on the internet were trying to like play defense for this
Wasn't
guy.
that-
Yeah,
and
for
cover
5
him up.
minutes. For
We
5
didn't
minutes.
we
It's-
didn't have enough information. All we had was the arrest report, right? We didn't have
Yeah.
enough. That's why I'm like, dude, innocent until proven guilty. But if what is alleged is true, I'm shocked at how many people are. Everyone was running defense for him right away. He's innocent. This is BS. All this stuff, bro. Even take away the kids being tested for cocaine and all that. A parent doing like hard drugs like that in a home with children
And
is
firearms.
is dangerous by itself.
Yeah.
That's dangerous by itself.
That's
And he's
awful.
also really like it's like it's insane because like on one hand like I get people that are like addicted, right? Like it's like I get addiction sucks. Like one of this YouTuber that I watch, he has like 20K subs, like 20,000 subs. He's been on YouTube since like AVGN era, right? So it's like I'll put him on occasionally because he's like a raunchy real dude. So he disappeared for a whole year off YouTube. And I was like, okay, what happened to this guy? Like, he used to stream here and there. Turns out he was addicted to fentanyl. You know, like he comes back with this one video and he's like, so, future of this channel. And I'm like, it's like this 24-minute video. And I open it up and he talks about like, oh, I was addicted to fentanyl because apparently he had like a leg injury or something. And they put him on like oxycodone or whatever the f- it is. And then he just started taking it. And then one of his roommates got him addicted to what they call blues in Ohio, which are like fentanyl, basically. And at that moment, he's like, I never get addicted to anything because he's like, I smoke and then I stop smoking. I drink and I stop drinking. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like me. Because it's like, if I cold turkey from that, I'm like, I don't have those like addictive urges.
Yeah.
But he said, bro, once you're on hard drugs, you're on hard drugs. And like, basically the only way he got off was that he lost his job. And so he locked himself in a room for a month, basically just not doing fentanyl. He's like, I'm sick. I'm throwing up all the time. Like I'm losing a ton of weight.
God.
Like it's just basically on the verge of death and shit. And one of his like wake up calls was like, he's looking at his wife at one point and he's like, because she was also addicted with him and she was like going into, because she OD'd one time and he's like, it's not like on Pulp Fiction, like go into like seizures and then stop and then seizure and then a stop. So point is, it's a wake up call and everything.
Yeah.
So that's why when I watched that video, it's like I always had sympathy for people that were drug users, but that video made me like, oh, anybody that's on drugs, I feel really bad for it.
Yeah.
Even with all of the sympathy.
However, that
when
said,
you have kids.
yeah, it's another
It's
story. It's
like-
like addiction is a real thing and it's bad and it's tragic and shit. But like, you can't do that. You have a responsibility to your children.
But
In the end.
yeah, you gotta be a hard ass. Quit being a like me. Like I'm not addicted to anything.
Yeah, but you're also not doing H and Coke and like E or whatever the right? Like
Yeah.
what is the hardest drug you've ever done
You
or
smoke-
continue to do?
Coke, shrooms.
Have you tried
weed.
Boogie's Shaman? Have you tried him? Apparently he's really good. Flaming Star.
No.
Well, anyway,
in my
I dropped
20s, like I would go clubbing or whatever, and like, I'd do a bump here, bump there, you know, like at a club, but not like I got Coke in my house. Like I've never had Coke where I lived. Like that's insane.
Yeah. I sent you a clip. The original vegan teacher video is got a community guideline strike, so it's not on YouTube. But this guy covered it. August the Duck at the 4-minute and 8-second mark is the clip of.
You know what? I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I legitimately, my brain froze, and I thought that was vegan gains for a hot minute, and I got excited, dude.
No.
I was like, ooh.
Different
I was like,
vegan. Different vegan.
ooh. What is this like thing? Like she's just like.
Well, she thinks that
'cause-
vegan animal lives are the same level as human lives, and therefore, if you eat meat, then you're a Nazi.
I hate killing animals, and I can't stand it. But
Hot take.
I eat chicken, beef, all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Same, bro.
Look, I love an animal and everything, but they're tasty, and that's
You
a
and
problem,
Vosh
right?
loving animals.
I could never work at like the slaughterhouse, like ever. Like I could not do it. Yeah.
You ever went hunting?
Yeah, when I was younger, and I was actually a good hunter, but as a like the older I got, the even more like animal friendly I've been. I don't like. Okay, listen how this is. I don't like cutting down trees. I'm like, no,
Oh
this thing's
my
gonna grow up
God.
to be this huge thing. Like, I don't like cutting down trees. I do, but I don't like it.
Dude, look
You
at
don't
your
like killing
recommended video.
plants?
Your recommended video
Oh
on
my-
the side. Keemstar still crying and coping.
Yeah.
Bro.
Good times,
what
good
the-
times.
No, dude,
Where?
I recommend it. It's
right
like
there.
it's the H3 podcast
Oh,
highlight.
yeah. Fucking
Oh, it's
loser.
the Bill Black stuff. I haven't seen that. I gotta see that one now. Jesus. But this
Yeah,
is the
true.
clip?
Yeah, this is the clip.
About to find out.
But look closely. This meat is covered in barbecue sauce, which is made of salt, sugar, and spices. The baby is enjoying the barbecue sauce, which is vegan. If this had been a lollipop, the child would have had the same reaction. If this had been somebody's
Crazy.
covered in sauce, the child would have had the same reaction.
Bro, this is psychotic.
It gets
Holy-
worse. It gets
What?
worse. It gets worse.
Oh my god.
Picture that.
Picture it, bro.
No.
Feel that in your gut.
No.
No, it's okay. All right.
Let that imagery wash all over your body.
Oh my god.
What is this a clip from Tipster's stream?
No,
No, it's a vegan teacher, dude. It's a little less raunchy.
yeah, try to articulate the difference, bro.
That
Yeah.
is, you know what? With how good AI is these days, I am flabbergasted that wasn't artificial
But
intelligence.
no,
Holy
this was on her
shit.
channel. She got a strike for it. It was there. It was something she decided to upload.
Dude, see, this is what I hate about YouTube real quick, and I hate that we sometimes get into these, like, I hate YouTube rants and shit. Why is it that if somebody uploads something up on the internet and they get a strike, but you upload the same thing and you shit on them and disprove why their statement was bad, you also get a strike? Shouldn't the system look at that and be like, wow, this guy's calling him out for the right thing?
I can tell you why.
Annoying.
YouTube wants to put a facade on that all the content is good and safe. So they do not like commentary people. They don't like shows like Drama Alert saying, hey, this YouTuber's bad. This YouTuber uploaded bad video on platform. It's a PR thing for YouTube.
Either that or the bots are stupid, or both. Maybe it's some mix.
Dude, it's just annoying that, like, we have to sit there and, like, play by the most brain dead rules on this platform.
Yeah, like one of my favorite YouTube rules is the ImAllexx style content creator going, trigger warning for potential sexual assault situation, trigger warning for maybe getting triggered over things. Then it plays his own clip of him.
When has there ever been a situation where a human got a trigger warning, right? About SA, trigger warning, SA, R word, all that, and they're like, you know what? I'm not watching this content. The trigger
Bro.
warning is more of like a hype
It's a
teaser.
tease.
It's like a teaser. Ooh, this is gonna get good.
Oh, shit.
Somebody got SA'd. Ooh, popcorn. Like, dude, that's like literally how it's used. You know, I'm not saying that. Like, I don't get excited like that. I'm not saying that, but
No, I mean, like, let's not. I mean, no. See, that's disingenuous. Let's not pretend. Anytime we can see like a groomer story on the internet, like especially the Minecraft community, we're all looking at we all scroll up to the TW// and we're like, all right, this is gonna be wild. We look at the page length and we're like, this is gonna be wild.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
not.
but like, you know, they drop like an 80-page document, and then in the beginning it's like trigger warning, pedophilia, homophobia. It's like it gives you like a little rundown of all the what you're about to run into.
I disagree. If it's a video, yeah, maybe I get a little amped up, like, ooh, this is gonna be good. If it's a Google Doc, I ain't reading that, bro. I ain't reading that. I'm not reading that. I'm not
Dude,
reading that.
that's
Yo,
literally just
every
The
girl,
real reason why he hates Will and E's corporate response is just because he's actually illiterate.
every girl or guy who's been a victim, who has put out a statement or a Google Doc on Twitter, will add so many unnecessary details. It's so frustrating. They're like, on June 7th, it was a sunny day, and I wanted so-and-so to come over, but he had his certain car. I was hoping they would drive this car. It's like, why are these details in there? Like, have you guys read these things? It's so, like, annoying.
No, for me, it's not that annoys me when I read the Google Docs. What I find annoying, it's not the fluff adjectives and conversational pieces. It's the allegations that aren't really allegations. Like, let's say it'll lead up to, and he sexually assaulted me, But for like 90% of it is like, he ghosted me and I felt very betrayed. I was like, all right, dude, like, come on. I feel bad for you, sure. But like, dude, that's not an allegation. You know? For me, that's the annoying part. There's so many...
I feel like if you're going to be a content creator on the internet, there needs to be like a certain amount of social like experience you must have. Otherwise, I'm never going to take you seriously. Like,
otherwise you'll date girls over Discord.
Have you guys ever been to like a VidCon like party? Like, have you guys ever been to like a VidCon event or some shit?
Yeah.
Like, I know you have, Keem, right?
I've
like,
been
have you
to
ever,
the equivalent.
do you ever feel like you guys are 20 years older than you should be at those events? Because that's how I feel. Like, sometimes I've been to like house parties, and like sometimes I've been to like the way that these people talk. Like, nothing pisses me off more than talking about YouTube analytics in the real world. You know, like you're at a party with alcohol and like cocaine and like everything. You're at like Nick Rekieta's like Thursday night, basically.
He said Thursday night, Nick.
Yeah, it's a Thursday like night at Nick Rekieta's house, and you're gonna sit there with all the party favors and still talk about like YouTube analytics. Like, if that mom talked to me about like, oh, this video I worked hard on was a 10 out of 10, and I'm just like, all right, first off, the next video will be a 1 out of 10. Who gives a?
When I go to these social events, all right, I want to party, I want to have fun, and I don't want to talk about analytics and what thumbnail works, but I will talk about some drama. Be like, yo, I heard this. You know, like I'm a gossip queen or whatever they're called.
When I met up with Destiny, none of us mentioned YouTube analytics at all. Like, just last week, right? So none of us talked about YouTube analytics. We did talk about Sneeko and Hassan. So like, you know.
Shit.
I feel like Hassan is literally, he's like a leech on Destiny's neck. It's
so
crazy.
You hung out with people IRL?
I believe it or not, I do have a corporeal form.
What the does that mean?
This bro needs a dictionary.
What the does that mean? I've never heard that term ever.
Look it up. It's a real term.
I'm good.
He says he means he exists in reality.
I will say this, Nux. I ain't reading all that.
It's all good. It's all good. Not offended.
No, but it's like what you guys talk about with like Hassan and everything too, because I know that Keem is not a fan of Hassan either, and vice versa.
He was another
I'm probably
phony.
the only person that's like friendly with him here.
He was another phony. This guy is a phony, and he's actually evil. All right. No, he's evil. When the Queen of England died, he was like celebrating. He was like jumping up and down that like another human died, right? Like, this is so fucking insane. It's like, dude, it's not like the Queen of England invaded some country or something or like killed a bunch of people. Like, you know, she's a fucking, figurehead, right? She doesn't even like really like, how are you jumping up and down excited? And it's this whole like mindset of like, you need to tear down the colonist or something like that. Like, that's where he was coming from. And it's just so like cringe. Like he's actually like a bad human. I don't like him.
I mean, I'll say this much as like an Indian person who was the most affected by the Brits. I didn't even celebrate the Queen dying. Like, I was just like, whatever, dude. Like, I was just like, shit,
if it was a queen from the time that when did they Gandhi is when they ended the
Gandhi, this has to be. This is not that old. It's like, I want to say India was independent probably around the same time like Israel was formed. So probably around my grandparents.
So Queen Elizabeth may have just got in. She was probably in her 20s or something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like no. The time that it was taken over was obviously like 100 years before that, even, right? Like when the independence happened, that was like less than 100 years ago. But yeah, the Brits
so the
ruled over
independence
India for a
happened
while.
under her watch, right?
Yeah.
No.
But it's like I don't really complain about it too much because it's like Indians don't need reparations. We have like one of the highest GDPs in the world. Who gives a shit? We'll move past it. No, but like the thing with like Hassan, it's like when he was on our show, when he was on this podcast, like I will say, like he definitely has knowledge about the things that he's talking about. I think that recently the only reason that I personally soured on him, and I know that Nux you have as well, is just because the way he reports things. It's very like. It just doesn't feel like he's doing it for the sake of the truth. It's more like just to pander to like that specific base.
Yeah,
that he has.
I'm so sick of these phonies. Willie Mack has a great expo videos on Hassan. They're like so damaging. It looks so bad.
Bro, that's the dude. Willie Mack is probably one of the most. Like the clips he'll dig out sometimes are nasty.
He does the work. He does the work.
The best like compliment I ever got was when like the Keffel stuff came out and he like calls me after. He's like, dude, this is a damaging video. And I'm like, dude, coming from the guy that digs out the wildest clips from people, dude. But you know, recently actually, me and him covered the same thing. It's the Heel Mike and Zerka. You guys see that shit?
Yeah.
Fucking pedo, like the.
God damn.
That shit was so
say,
bad.
Like, I don't want to say that they were somebody underage, but like they were the worst dudes in Miami in that situation, right? Like, I never worry about like pedo stuff happening to any of us because I think we all like. If my rule is, if I have to ask a girl for ID, probably shouldn't be getting involved with that. You know, like if I gotta do the background check on somebody, probably better to just go after another woman.
I don't know. Also,
like
I feel like we all have
available.
kind of stable lives at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
like,
We're not
doing
just like partying with random girls and all that shit.
Yeah, we're not like doing coke or whatever the it is. Like we're not out of nowhere. So yeah, there is definitely that aspect to it. But dude, it's just these guys. Like that whole like Zerka clip where like he's just sitting, like the guy brings up the fact that this girl is underage and he's like, no, but in Canada,
Oh my God.
it's legal. I'm like, bro, that is the wildest self-report that I've ever had to see. It's insane.
Not only have both of them made jokes that they were pedos, right? Made, for years, made jokes and said that they're into teenage girls. Not only has that happened, right? But I want you to think throughout time on the internet of pedo allegations and people getting exposed. Normally you're looking at like a chat log back and forth, which is hard to verify, or a verbal allegation that this happened and you're like, I don't know, and da-da-da-da. This was streamed live to the internet.
Wild.
This is worse than EDP 445 because EDP, it was a setup. It was a catfish. There wasn't even a real victim. This is a real human, 16 years old, on their streams. Like, this was bad.
Yeah, this was bad.
Well, I don't know what her age was, like, exactly. All I know is, like, her ID was suspicious as hell.
Allegedly
like,
16.
When I was covering the whole thing, like, I looked at, like, I saw literally, like, 3 different Florida IDs that were brought up. And, like, even in the comment section, like, this is why I love YouTube stuff, like, reading the comments, because sometimes you'll find somebody from, like, the Floridian DMV in your comments, and it's like, 30-year veteran in the Florida DMV system. That specific ID is for minors. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Brilliant, dude.
Guys, I only have like 10 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, no. We've had a long episode today, but ladies and gentlemen, we've covered a fair bit. I would say, like, we've covered ImAllexx pretty extensively. There's no coming back from that. We've covered Nick Ricada. No coming back from that. These are 2 examples of YouTubers that have completely their shit up
And
for opposite reasons.
And Zerka and them, there's no coming back from that either.
Not gonna lie, I feel like of the 3 of them, Zerka will probably be the most easiest to be accepted back by his community.
Yeah, to be fair, Heel Mike and
Alex,
Zerka are probably
Alex
still
up
going to have
his whole brand, his whole clean, socially, politically correct brand, that's gone. It's over. Nick had this whole super conservative, wholesome brand, literally, all cooked. Zerka called himself a pedophile.
Well, before like it's ended, it's like the best way to describe ImAllexx is he pulled a tipster. He completely whipped out of his community. Nobody is willing to take. When you're in a community where like your whole thing is to be as squeaky clean as possible, and now you're filthier than like even the filthiest commentator, you're on your way out, dude. There's no coming from it. So hopefully Alex has some money stored. Maybe he can, I don't even know why I'm wishing him well. That guy.
Yeah,
who
dude.
gives a shit out of how he treated his girlfriend. That loser. I hope he goes bankrupt. What a snake. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Keemstar. We've had a great time. A brilliant guest to have. Go check him out at Keemstar. Go check him out at Drama Alert on Snapchat. Check out Lolcal Live and check out the Baited Podcast, which you probably already have because that's coming out a week earlier before this. And make sure to check out Nux, check out Oompaville, and check out me if you want to check out some, content.
Mid-tier.
Thanks for having me so many times on this platform. Nux, go yourself. See you guys.
I'll go do that.